All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, to the top of the winners bracket here in King of the Sea 15 International. We are looking at Penta and W&D as we spawn into game one of their series here. Zath, talk to me about the Penta lineup here on Warriors Path.
Yeah, up to the north, Penta working their way to, looks like opposite ends for their battleships. We've got El Snackman's Ohio Sniper. We've got Angel Stone's Burgon. Interesting to see a Burgon early on. Very speedy ship. Swift and Silence, plus the engine boost is already active. And the special engine boost module. Kinney Mod's Brisbane in front of him. And your typical setup, Blood Legends, typical setup, Marceau, typical setup, all heading towards the Alpha Cap. Heading towards the B Cap is the Daring. That's why you bring a Daring in competitive, it seems. Heading towards the B. We've got Viles, Harugumo, typical setup. Snackman working his way towards B Cap. In front of them is John the Ruthless's. Brisbane, pretty much a full torpedo spec as usual. And a Kleber, that's bots using a reload module, not unique upgrade. Actually, pretty much going all guns, Raptor. What do we got to the south for W&D?
Well, with Des Moines and Ragnar on the ban list, W&D is fielding. Let's have a look over here at their ace flank. Fazy's Montana. Fairly typical sort of thing. Now, they're also fielding a Bregonia. That's WCG Rider. Fazy looking like he's probably going to hang a little more towards mid, but the Bregonia, just like Angel Stone to the north, having his speed boost cranking out, he is already headed over hard to A. In front of him, No Name's Brisbane. Ertug's Harugumo, obviously to bring the smoke for No Name's Brisbane. And a pair of Klebers, that is Ferry and Mixa, in similar but not identical builds there. Ferry leaning a little more into the guns. Mixa leading a little more into, well, with the RPF there. So one of those Klebers having RPF.
Yeah, the two of them working together that way.
Yes, Eobard's Daring playing the opposite number to Shriver's Daring here across the B-Cap, backed up by Russia's Moskva. And then over here at C, a lone Marseille. This is D&O, going to try and hold the back door open against all of this Penta force over here at the C-Cap. I have a sneaking suspicion D&O is going to be out of here before too long, Zath. I think he's highly likely to be the first casualty for W&D.
So, while we were talking about this with the replay deep dive, from the south side, this map, it's very difficult to push C from the south, but it's relatively easy to hold it from the south because of that lip right by Dino. Now, interestingly enough, he's not choosing to use that lip. Instead, just kind of coming out and saying, go ahead and shoot me.
Setting up to kite here. Catching Bots' Kleber on the surface. His secondary's popping off. He had a P in the barrel, so he takes the shot anyway. Nothing.
But look at all the torps that are already coming for this location. I'm really surprised he came out from that lip, but we'll see what happens. Once that fizzles already.
Very obviously set up to kite from here. And his hydro ticking. You can see these torpedoes crawling up his stern. I don't think, actually, he'll be able to find a gap here.
There it is.
Doesn't need it anyway. Now, we don't normally see Marseille set up to kite, Zath. This is an unusual way to use this ship.
Well,
it's in my experience.
It's designed to kite, but it's designed to live as long as possible while kiting because of that ginormous hit point pool.
True. I mean, a kiting ship with all of its turrets forward feels odd, but that's what we're doing here at sea. Meanwhile, Mixa and Ferry rotating back due east along the F line, headed over to B, leaving A in the capable hands of their teammates to play defense.
W&D's battleships, both sterns pointed north.
Yeah.
Weird. Angel Stone's battleship stern pointed south. It's like both teams are come at me, but neither's gonna do it. Except look at the Kleber ball. They're heading to B.
The Bregonia positions, I understand. Fazy's Montana feels like maybe he rotated a little too far to the east. They're bringing him back west now. I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to end up trying to help combat this push down the sea line, Zath.
I mean, it makes sense. And maybe that's the idea with the Marseille, too, is to get them to commit to this push because they think, oh, we can get this guy. And then the Montana shows up and claps.
It is
We'll see.
possible. Eobard's daring stepping onto B. I'm expecting that to draw out the radar from Blood Legend. There it is.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to put shots downrange on him, though?
The problem with that radar is it catches both W&D's bears.
Catches, yeah. I feel like maybe they... you almost feel like that's a calculated play, right? Like they want you to know where those guys are. Because you know as soon as Eobard steps onto the cap, he's going to get radared.
Mm-hmm. Well, as soon as that radar goes down, at least there's going to be 2 or if not 3 destroyers going right into the B cap.
Zath, I think Marcello over here on the 2 line took a torpedo. His Sarugumo is quite low, and I don't think there's been any major gunfights over here. It's all been torpedo spam.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Snackman's Ohio turning into the channel here between B and C. I don't think I saw this coming, but FaZe's Montana kind of in a position to sort of set up for it.
You know, it's interesting. Usually when we see battleships going through the channel in King of the Sea, that signals oof. So we'll have to see what Snackman's able to do with that Ohio in that spot. You can see he's choosing not to pull forward.
You almost have to wonder now, DNO turned all the way around. He's on the J line. He knows... he knows now the Ohio will have no shots on him. You almost have to wonder, why wouldn't he maybe turn around and push the Harugumo a little bit? Hydro's available.
You know what? He very well might do that. As a matter of fact, it's almost like he was listening because look at what he's done. He's making the turn.
Slowing down, he's turning.
Oh.
Yeah, and now he's...
Hot Vile.
Yeah, well, Vile opened up with his guns. Montana salvo coming in now on John.
Decent hit.
Solid hit.
Thing though is that Dino is just so low. Nice hit there, yeah.
Yeah, Vile definitely taking a hit there. It's about a 100-point lead here. Go ahead.
Snackman reversing with his plane up. I'll bet you he's trying to... Maybe they're trying to bait Dino into turning around.
Oh, Zath, look at the Kleber's. Mixa and Ferry are headed this way. They're determined to get Vile. They're gonna come down here and punish this push. They get it.
Easy takes him down.
Pick up the kill. 220-point lead now for W&D. 8 minutes in. DNO still clinging to life as the Ohio. Snackman reversing.
Yep.
Trying to get some shells on Dino, who's dark now.
Yep. Nice decision there. He still takes one in the butt, but really good decision there not to turn completely around. And now you've got these 2 Kleber's that are just going to get in the face of, well, the Brisbane, the Ohio. They could take their pick.
Do you rush the Ohio from that position, Zath? Probably. I feel like that's a bad idea because the Ohio's quick and he can just go forward back into that channel.
I think from that position you take out the Brisbane, but we'll see which they choose for.
They've certainly got the opportunity to pick up the kill on the Brisbane. Ferry now opening up with his reload booster. FaZe's shells going in. It almost feels like W&D kind of set up specifically to punish this push, Zath. They knew Penta would try a push here, and they came almost with a strategy, I won't say designed specifically to counter it, but certainly one flexible enough that it could counter this sort of thing. Oh, Dino gets his revenge.
Dino does get his revenge, and that will allow him to go dark and heal up. Snackman will have maybe one more salvo. Nope, Dino's empty. He's already gone. It's already dark.
Dino's already dark as Snackman, I think, is behind the island cutting off LOS.
I gotta wonder, what is Bots doing with the Kleber? Looks like he's starting to head into the B cap now.
Yeah, I think he's... I'm not sure. It feels like W&D has used their Kleber's better for sure. 380-point lead here for W&D as we get close to the halfway mark of the game. They're going to blind fire Shriver in this daring smoke, much like we saw last game.
Yeah, and they got him.
Punching shells in there to keep resetting him. They did. Got another fire lit on him, I thought, for a moment.
Ah, there we go. All right, so Bots replaces the daring in the B cap.
That keeps the pressure on. They know where the daring is. They have no idea where the Kleber is. That's the difference.
That's exactly right. Now, as the rush comes, Moskva has radar range, but that radar is inoperative for another 50 seconds. Penta will flip the B cap. And they're
Penta's
also
not
flipping
idle,
A.
though. Exactly. Kenny Mods Brisbane stepping onto A, getting a little cheeky here. No names Brisbane. Picking him up on radar. Shoving those shells downrange to try and keep him reset.
Oh, look at the Klebers, Raptor. They are going to...
Yeah.
They're going to surround Snackman.
Oh, yep. I see it now. They're waiting. It looks like... Well, they both pulled up their brakes, actually.
I think they're just waiting for the go.
Could be. Ferry's moving. Mix is holding.
So Ferry's going to get detected. Snackman's going to instinctively react by moving forward. They're going to wait a little bit extra. Nope.
No, Ferry's not detected. He's just sitting there holding those points back, right?
Right.
There comes the radar.
They might have been waiting for that
keeping an eye on the
radar.
Ohio. Maybe I think they wanted better information. So that seems like a smart play. Holding for the radar there. They wanted to know where the daring was, and now that they know, they're going to drive him back. Kleber shells, Montana shells.
Oh,
Big hit from the Montana. Fazy's Montana driving AP right up the stern of Shriver's daring.
all the shells coming in and missing.
They haven't got... Yeah, he's still alive in there.
There's a fire.
Now the Marseille. D&O starting to land shells on Snackman cheekily back here while he can. Undetected. D&O's played a brilliant game in that Marseille, managing to keep it alive. Out of heals, but still alive.
Driver is still burning, but he will survive. For now.
3 minutes on the timer. Each team ticking up a cap. A 300-point lead for W&D. Now the Kleber is lit. How is Ferry lit? I think he's getting spotted by the plane.
Yes.
Yep. The Ohio spotter plane occasionally picking up Ferry's Kleber. So Snackman knows he's there. Not a secret.
But you can see Penta now has rotated bots to a position to prevent Kleber rush.
Yes. And they've also come hard with Angel Stone's Bergonia into A in a moment. Now Penta is the only one ticking up points. W&D has a 2-ship lead, but at the moment, no positive health gain, Zath. I mean, no positive health gain. No positive points.
Well, the problem with getting all these units in position to deal with Snackman's Ohio, there they go, is that they pull units off from the rest of the board.
Yep, the Kleber rush is on. Here we go.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
That's right. That's right. That'll do it. Snackman's going to go out right here.
Yep. Kleber's in the hands of these players is not... That's not an engagement you're getting excited about.
Right.
Pushes up W&D to over 900 points. They'll reverse Ferry into the C cap and flip that one very quickly.
That's right. In the meantime, they're going to have to find a... Just go into B, right? Like, well, Legend knows it's coming.
They've certainly got the forces to do it. I mean, at this point, you could drive Fazy into the B cap.
Look at Mike says, Kleber, this could be catastrophic.
I think they're going to lose Mixer right here. Maybe one on the stern. Whoa!
Oh!
What did I just watch exactly? Wow.
Cue the Eurobeats.
Seriously. Wow. Blood Legend still got plenty of radar. I'm sure Mix is stepping on this cap's going to draw one out. There we go. W&D ticking up points again.
That's right. Striver was detected for a little bit, being shot at by the Pergon. There we go. Mike's gets into B. Oh, look, a radar. Who knew?
Hey, look. I'm shocked to discover Blood Legend using his tool to prevent this cap from occurring.
Yeah, but he's hurting.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job of just slowly, steadily whittling down his health pool all game. He's still got a couple of heals left, but if they land the damage at the right time, they can convert this kill. Montana salvo going in, nothing doing.
There's that DCP. And they land a permanent fire.
I said they're trying to get the fire on him. That's the key right now. Keep throwing HE at him until you get him to light.
I have a giveaway to run.
If Blood Legend dies, that's game.
There. Well, and he just kicked. There's the fire. So we're seconds now from the win, and there it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Zath. A flawless victory from W&D here in game 1, not even losing a ship.
Yeah, you know, a fantastic battle between both teams. W&D, I was really excited to see them play last weekend. We missed the match where they took out every single one of Penta's ships, but like Penta's not out. We know that they're the favorite to win. I have a feeling we're going to see some interesting stuff next game, Raptor.
I look forward to it. This game was fascinating, and you just don't see this. I don't know, Zath. This felt like a really bad loss for Penta to me, and that's unusual for them. So we'll see how they recover in game 2.
Agreed. Let's throw it back to the studio, let them analyze for a bit, and we'll see you soon.
Why will the room not load?
It's loading for me, and we are now live, ladies and gentlemen, in Game 2 of Penta versus W&D. This is North.
It's Kraken time, chat.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I am looking at a loading screen, so I can't help you with this one right now.
Okay. Let me do this. I'll at the very least share my screen with you so you can see my view of the battle.
Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help us cast the game, does it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But in any case, while you figure that out, I'll take us through the lineup and everything like that, all right? So
do that. I'm going to try and crash out and try again.
Okay, so this is North. This is Penta versus W&D, Game 2. W&D is up 1, looking to get another win here. Now, interestingly enough, this is the map where W&D took Penta down 0-9 last weekend. So can they do that again? We'll find out. Penta is bringing with them a Harugumo, a Speed Spec Burgon, again, that's Angel Stone. Snack Ben's Ohio is set the same. Got ourselves Brizzy, a Yu Yang now. Bots is trading the Clipper for Yu Yang. Striver north of the B cap, getting ready to go in. That's a very, very heavy Penta force going towards the Alpha cap on the west side. We got Blood Legend going to the typical radar spot in the Moskva. Kinnymod with a Manitar Raptor heading towards C cap. And we've got ourselves a Daring working to C cap as well. That's CEO of Dog in the typical Daring build. In front of them, the W&D lineup, we've got ourselves a Marceau heading towards the C cap. They are about to collide with the Daring momentarily. It's pretty much gun build Marceau. Dino's using a Salem this time, heading to the 910 line. But W&D seems to be going pretty heavy towards A as well. Des Moines setting up south of the B cap. Elbard's Daring is fixing to go into the B cap. We're going to see the typical, radar shenanigans at B soon enough. We've got Mike's Yu Yang at the tip of A, dumping some torpedoes, getting ready to go in. Radar prepared. Behind him, backing him up, is Brisbane. Torpedo build, and Ferry's Harugumo. Instead of 420 Blaze at Harugumo Raptor, this Ferry's Harugumo is... Oh, never mind, it is a 420. I was looking at the wrong ship. There we go.
Well, I'm gonna have to work off your camera view because the training room will not let me in. All I'm ever gonna see this game is a load screen.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to work off that view.
I will do what I can.
All right. So, I gotta say, interesting. W&D sent both battleships towards A, and then they just flipped one of them. FaZe decided, nope, I'm gonna go the other way. I wonder if they caught some glimpses early of all these ships and said, you know what, let's get in here. Not sure. Something made them turn around, that's for sure.
Okay, sorry, I'm having to get oriented, look at the map. I've been spending the last few minutes trying to get into the training room, and it will not let me in, so I'm gonna have to watch this through your view.
Okay, well, I will do my best for you, sir.
No problem. You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Okay. So Penta
feels like it feels.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it feels like the crux of this game right now, Zath, is at the A cap. I mean, I'm looking at what's on the C line for like the C or on the C cap for both teams, and it's very little. I mean, maybe I could kind of see the B being a big play. FaZe's Montana's in a position to exert more influence over at B, or maybe C, but it feels like really A is the play for both teams.
So when W-N-D took down Penta 9-0 on this map, they hard pushed through A. Now they were the North spawn, but they sent a battleship and 2 cruisers, if I remember right, destroyer, all down A. There was no ability for Penta to really react, although they did their best to do so. W&D also sent a Moskva and Kremlin down the 4 line. So I have a feeling that Penta was expecting that same play, and that's why you see so much of their beef heading over towards the A cap.
Yeah.
Torpedoes coming
Well,
in
for the
on
moment-
file. Nope, he's okay.
I was gonna say for the moment, it's only Penta ticking up points. That early C cap, letting them get a lead here as they try to jockey for position. They've been successful so far in driving Mix's Yu Yang off the cap. In fact, taking blind fire on Mixa now, and actually landing shells. Oh no, it's not blind. Okay, there's the radar coming up from Bots' Yang. Now they've got clear vision there.
Yeah, it's gonna push him back. He'll be all right. I say that as shells come in from, looks like Striver's daring, yeah.
I mean, I'm not convinced he's going to die, but I mean, he's certainly going to take some damage while he's under the radar. They're not going to let him get away scot-free while he's lit like this.
Feels like he was expecting that radar to expire a little bit sooner and got kind of surprised because he sat there for a little bit.
Yeah, he did take a little more chip damage there at the end that I think he wasn't quite expecting. I think that was some Brisbane salvo coming in. Some radar going up in the middle of the board. That's Blood Legends Moskva. They know Eobard's daring is right there, but again, the B cap remains a staring contest. They're bringing FaZe over to push C, Zath.
Yeah, I see that now, and smart decision. I mean, they know pretty much not too much is over there for Penta, so why not? And Dino continually just get pins and needled to death by Kinemod's Minotaur. I mean, look at this thing.
You know, eventually, so this is one of those interesting duels, right? In the sense that the Salem has crazy sustainability, but Kinemon is unlikely to let himself get caught in a position where that American piercing out of the Salem's forward barrels is be catastrophic damage. So I think if you're DNO, you're basically, the torpedoes coming in here is going to be the deal breaker for the Minotaur, but he's not actually going to land any of them. Very close though.
But, you know, thing is, both of these ships have super heals, right? But the difference is, Kinemod, with his penetrations through the superstructure, that's less healable damage for Dino. So Kinemod definitely has, I would say, a bit of an advantage in this gunfight. And then you add to that CEO of Dogs daring, just saying, "Hey, I'm here too."
I don't know. I don't think this. I could call it.
Oh, some serious
nice
torpedo hits.
salvo there.
Yeah.
What happened
FaZe.
to Shriver over? It must have been over at A. Was it over at A? No, they caught him in the gap here. They caught him in the gap along the 4 line.
Yes.
That's a big kill because that's going to open up the B cap for W&D a bit.
It absolutely will. As I mean, W&D has so much force at A, but they're kind of not using it right now. I have a feeling that's about to change though on the back of that daring kill.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Bots' Yang is in a position where I assume his radar is still available, or at least it will be shortly. We saw him burn one a moment ago.
It is
ready.
ready.
It's up, so it's available. So, I mean, you know, they know he has it. Mixa got caught by it earlier. That's probably not a cap you're excited about charging right at this moment. You've got a ship lead, you know, work for position. They're going to be able to get into B here, I think, with the daring. That's Eobard's daring on the bottom end of B.
Right. And you can see that's
Notice
exactly...
they've turned the Salem around. They've pulled DNO off the 10 line completely. They're pulling him back to the south. They're like, look, you don't need to keep pushing over there. He's going to end up in this gunfight with Kinemod anyway.
Well, not only that, but...
Kenny's already taking salvos.
He wasn't really winning that gunfight. I mean, look at the health pool differential, you know?
He wasn't. And okay, I thought he was going to turn around completely, but he's not. He's going to turn back north. Kenny got those shots for free.
Yeah. Taking a look at what's going on at B now. Snackman is starting to get hit from long range. That looked like the Elbard's daring. Forces him to go forward.
Yeah, Eobard's gonna be able to pick up B. I don't think they can stop it now. I mean, Blood Legends radar might be available, but even if it is, they don't have anybody who's able to get shells on him.
It is available.
So it doesn't do him much. It doesn't do him much good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Blood Legend is continuing to be farmed out by this Marceau. Radar up over at A. That's bots as Yu Yang. Trying to catch Mike says Yu Yang. Forces him to move forward. And look at John the Ruthless now. Vile bringing him forward. To radar the A-cap once Mixa tries to go back in.
Yeah, they can still see Mixa here. Mixa's going to have to move up and get some hard cover. But even once he does, he's still going to be in range of that Brisbane radar if they want to try and keep him off the cap. So I think right now Penta still has all the pieces in place they need to hold A for a while. W&D now, of course, picking up B will start to close that gap. We're getting close to the halfway mark of the game. Only about 50 points or so lead here for Penta.
Right.
As are they gonna push Snackman's Ohio into the C cap? Wow, Kenny's winning this duel hardcore with Dino.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
Well, one, it's Kenny, and two, like I said, I think those AP pens through the super are really, really doing work.
Fair, but it's just two super heal ships, both of them with pretty high rates of fire. No torpedoes involved because we haven't seen Kenny land a torpedo yet. And the Salem's just getting outshot, which is a shock to me.
Look at this. Both of them actually dark right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, CEO of Dog does go in with the daring to C-cap. There's really no easy way for W&D to react to this.
No, the Salem's out of position. The Marceau might be able to get over there. I mean, you have to spot him the hard way, right? So I don't think it's likely. There's the Brisbane radar on Mixa. We knew that was available.
Yep.
I guess he went back just knowing he would have to draw it out and weather the fire.
I would think so, but what's interesting is that the rest of W&D is playing butts up right now. I mean, look at the Brisbane, Bergon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just stirring on to the enemy here. Barry opening up on bots is Yu Yang.
Might not even save the Brisbane on that flank. Looked like he had torpedoes. Nope, they all ran out. That was no name. They all ran out just off his stern there. Yeah, going in for some cheeky damage there on bots, trying to get a little bit of health advantage there. Penta takes the C cap back. They'll start to open that gap open that points gap back up. Barry goes down.
Barry goes down for his insolence there. Blood Legend just ready to go.
Yep.
Goes back to that question mark I had earlier.
Go check B, Zath. Go check B. Look at the Des Moines pushing through the center.
Kenny Mod gets the torps on Dino Salem,
Kenny
finally.
Mod does get torpedoes on the Salem. Watch. Oh, the Des Moines is good. They're trying to push Blood Legend. You know what? I think they're pushing him from two directions.
They are.
You've got a Marceau in the channel, and the Des Moines in his face.
And a daring as well.
Yep.
They're gonna win. We need to
Eobard's gonna take...
He blocks the Marceau torpedoes.
No.
Trying to get his own torpedoes in there.
Teammates torpedoes and goes down. That feels like obviously a bit of a misplay. Blood Legend's going to slow down. He's still going to die. I think he's going to take like 7 of these. Yeah.
But the big question is, what's going to happen now with the Des Moines? Snackman, you know, has AP in the barrels, looking right at him, getting ready for the shot.
Salivating, looking for this shot. He has to be. Rush is going to use the Moskva's sinking corpse as armor for as long as he can.
Well, not only that,
shells downrange on CEO of Dog.
Not only that, but it shoves him sideways, which could have potentially screwed Snackman's salvo, but Snackman waited.
Yeah. Snackman, I think, is going to wait for this ship to kind of get out of the way.
He's looking at the Marceau.
He was looking at Marceau, who was coming for him. Yeah, the Marceau still had another rack of torpedoes.
Yeah.
And, well... that didn't work out for W&D.
No, it makes sense, though, that Marceau is the bigger threat. Take him out first. Snackman can casually punch the Des Moines through the face, so he's not concerned. Kenny Mod now back into this as well. Daring CEO of Dog into this. I'll tell you, Raptor, I think we're going to a Game 3.
Oh, sure we are.
There it is.
Oh, man. I think that was just the stern turrets.
That was just the stern turrets.
Just the 4 barrels of the stern. The Ohio wipes him out, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the game is over. 10 seconds on the timer.
Penta paying by the laser in that salvo.
Oh, wow.
Raptor.
Wow. Okay, well, there we go. Game 2. Are you not entertained?
What a fantastic game. That was a crazy battle to watch. Penta, you know what? They did their homework on W&D. They were prepared for W&D to try to do a pushover day. For some odd reason, W&D made a bit of an audible, moved their Montana back. That was phasey. I don't know if that was the right play or not. Looking back, 2020, of course. The big thing, though, I think, was those daring torpedoes just clunk, 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 conga lining Daisy's Montana. Ouch.
Well, game 2 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see if I can hopefully get the training room to behave for next game, and we'll see you in a moment for game 3.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Wow. Nearly identical lineups.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kraken time, Jet.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we head into this last game of the series. After getting manhandled in Game 1, Penta strikes back in Game 2, and here we are spawning into Game 3 on Sleeping Giant. Zath, talk me through the Penta lineup.
All right, Raptor. Yeah, Penta is bringing an Ohio snack band fronted by Blood Legends Moskva, fronted by Marcelo Pelos Harugumo. Pretty much what we've seen so far already. Strivers Daring going middle. Biles, Harugumo, same thing we've seen. Bots is Yu Yang, same thing we've seen. Going to C-Cap. Behind them, support is John the Ruthless's Brizzy. Kitty Mods, Brizzy, and Angel Stolen Spurgon. Interesting, Kitty Mod changing to a Brizzy from a Minotaur last game.
Minotaur.
Yeah,
fairly heavy C push here from Penta, Zath.
Yeah. Well, W&D looks to be doing a little bit the opposite the other way. Why don't you tell us about their lineup, sir?
Your thing with Kleber and Ragnar on the ban list. W&D is fielding a Montana. That's Fazy. We've been watching him play that ship most of the match so far. Russia's Brisbane, fronted by Ertug's Harugumo and Mix's Yu Yang. This is indeed a radar Yu Yang. Headed over here across the middle of the board. This is Eobard's Daring. The Montana, Fazy's taking some early shots here from both battleships.
He got spotted early.
Yep, got spotted a little early there. WCG Riders Ohio headed over towards A. Paired up with No Name's Des Moines. And DNO's Moskva. Not running unique module there on a Moskva, just running a regular reload. And then Ferry's Harugumo for the moment headed wide over at A.
I want to mention something real quick. I caught a glimpse of it over at the 9-10 line there, the Harugumo. I don't know. He went ahead and popped his reload booster, torpedo reload booster right away. And very smart. That allows him to pump out torpedoes earlier than would be expected. Now, they're not going to hit anything, but this is a fantastic way to surprise the enemy, and I love doing that trick in ranked battles all the time, Raptor.
Yeah, I've learned to kind of maybe be a little less conservative with that reload booster as well, because whether or not you decide to do the torpedoes, the booster has a very long cooldown, so the sooner you can push that button and get some use out of that consumable, probably the better off you are.
Right. Meanwhile, I don't know if you caught it, but Bots All Day actually blocked some of his teammates at one of the Brisbane's torpedo racks. A little bit of a miscommunication perhaps there. I don't think it's going to matter either way.
Striver tries for the B cap. Dino Gaming's Moskva was remember we saw one of the Moskvas get punished in this position last week. DNO in a similar position, but not quite as stationary, and his radar able to help push Shriver off this cap and get some good damage into that daring hull. Well, to see if Eobard's able to take advantage of it, because Blood Legends Moskva is going to mirror that position.
So the big difference is that Dino is not Baoan. That Moskva that died in that position last week was Baoan and took all those torpedoes. Matter of fact, the fact that he was turning around is actually what saved him, because those torpedoes fizzled inches away from his rear.
Yep. Eobard continuing to reverse. He might step onto B here in a moment. 4 minutes gone, no points, no kills, a little bit of ship damage on both teams. Everyone's still jockeying for position here on Sleeping Giant.
Yeah, as the rush comes, he's going to take a torpedo, though. Deep water, that's an oof.
With his hydro ticking even.
Even this hydro ticking, yeah, you know, the problem with the Brizzy, and the same thing with the Minotaur, is it's very difficult to change forward to back because of that wonky acceleration. So I think he was starting to move forward, and then he just couldn't back up in time, forced to take one torpedo.
Yep, knowing that he took a torpedo in there, PTA puts up the hydro. Oh, wow.
Just caught that, a glimpse of it the last second there. Radar going as the smoke, you can see, kind of curled northward for torpedo salvo. Look at these cross torps coming into this ball.
Yeah, and there's no hydro. Well, okay, I'm sorry. The Brisbane hydrant is running in there, but they're going to be able to dodge all of these torpedoes. That there's 3 of them in there.
Yep.
Literally all just, like, mated to each other. Look at them.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you play competitive in World of Warships. You ride the border.
Wow, look at this.
Remember that the Brisbanes have that funny British cruiser acceleration, which means that they really don't care about hitting that border whatsoever.
Well, not only do they lose a ship, they lose control of the B cap as Penta jumps out to an early 100-point lead and growing 5 minutes here into Game 3.
Yeah, you know, one thing that W&D is famous for is pushing hard to the point where nobody can respond or react in time. We didn't see that last game, and I gotta say, Raptor, I'm not seeing that this game either.
No, I mean, it's a little early, so I'm not shocked, but I mean, Penta brought so many ships to sea. I'm not surprised they were able to take advantage of a little bit of some early damage there and push through a kill on one of those destroyers. I mean, anywhere you have 2 Brisbanes, that is not a place you want to be as a destroyer. And W&D, I don't know if you've noticed that, they are pulling just about everybody off that flank. They put Eobard into C. They're going to grab A here with Ferry. And I think then we're going to have to see how they decide to reorient themselves to get back into this game.
Right. Looked like Vile might have taken a...
Moscow radar is offline. Go ahead.
Like Vile might have taken a torpedo in that Hargum. I was trying to look to see if his DCP was down. It's still available, so I'm not sure what knocked him down that much.
I think he just took some regular old, hey, I got shot a couple of times damage along the way.
Right.
Eobard's daring was doing good work at B and got spotted on the surface by Shriver, has to smoke and bail. So Penta able to defend the B cap.
Yep. W&D does respond by pushing through the A cap with 3 ships. Can they get the wrap? Can they get behind Blood Legends Moscow? I think that's the big question for them.
It's going to be tough, right? I mean, so a couple of interesting things here, right? Marcelo's Harugumo is kind of fairly lonely there off to the north, up on C1, right? If you're Shriver's daring, you have a couple of options. You could potentially roll back to cover Blood Legends stern, the push coming from that direction. But if you do that, you leave the B cap more or less wide open, don't you?
That you do.
So it's a risk. Eobard's got a bunch of conga line torpedoes headed in to Blood Legends position. At the moment, Blood is declining to move up into those. Shriver's got a similar thing cooking here for DNO's Moscow position here to the south side.
Yeah, these single conga fire torpedoes are gonna miss Blood Legend. He knows that that's coming.
Yep. Now with the Yu Yang here in mid, that's Mixa. He and Eobard able to tag team this cap, but they've also rotated Bots All Day's Yu Yang back. In fact, his radar going up right there, picking up both Mixa and Eobard on top of the B cap.
Well, they knew that W&D was going to go into B. They had to find a way to get in, so Minos will get that radar position. There it is. And now Blood Legend's ready to go.
Yep. Blood Legend's ready to go. Kinemon's Brisbane has come back. He was ready to go.
All the shells
Started
coming
to put some good damage. Started to put some good damage into Snackman as Dino takes a big hit.
Yeah, that's Angel Stone's
Looks like we're going to see a lot of action over the B cap in the next few minutes, Zath.
Absolutely, Raptor. Absolutely.
Ooh, Eobard getting absolutely punished now.
Well, there's Blood Legend's radar.
Still spotted in there. Yep, the Blood Legend radar is coming up. Deepwater torpedoes going in on Blood. He's going to take at least 2 of
He
those.
takes 2.
2 on the bow.
2 on the bow.
Nice salvo. But Eobard's probably going to go out here. The next thing that hits him will kill him. And there it is.
There he goes. But I'm curious. Yeah, Blood is flooding. His DCP is off for 40 seconds. He is trying to heal through this.
He's trying to heal through it. That's a kill that W&D desperately needs if they can pick it up.
Absolutely. Now, this does allow WGC Ryder to move forward with the Ohio. There he is, Blood Legend, under 2,000 hit points and falling.
Blood now burning and flooding. He's going to go out right here.
There it is.
And pick up a big kill in the middle of the board.
That was a very important kill. Now look at, as the rush comes, Brisbane just being chased off to the next map. Raptor, down south.
Trying to chase him in the next game, except that, well, this is the last game of the series.
This is the last game of the series, but I'll tell you, if I'm FaZe, yep, FaZe's turning his turrets. He's getting ready to support this.
We saw this last game. FaZe kind of rotating back to punish John for a bit of a cheeky push, right?
Yep. Dino took
So we'll
a
see what
deep water
happens here.
torpedo from Bots All Day's Yu Yang. Just the one. Forces out the DCP. His Hydro is off. He backs up too far. He might take some more.
Mixes Yang headed back to B. It's a 1 ship and 1 cap lead for Penta as we head over the halfway mark of the game. They're up over about 300 points here and growing. W&D's not out of this yet, but certainly on the back foot right now.
Oh, absolutely, yes. As the rest crumbs
Boy,
now
Rush.
hitting the border.
Rush getting lucky there, dodging some potential Citadel shells from
Yeah.
Angel Stone. Nothing coming up with nothing.
Yep, and you can see FaZe now coming into that position. He just got detected. Rush does not have radar available.
FaZe's guns are looking back toward mid, Zath.
Well, they might have basically ridden him off at this point, or at least
His spotter plane is up. He's looking for a shot way off to the north.
Oh, I saw that coming in.
Oh,
Huge
my
torpedo
goodness.
salvo on John the Ruthless.
Look
Takes
at
him
that.
down.
Look at that. That's a huge kill for W&D. That takes some of the pressure off Rush
Yeah.
to see if he can find a way. Rush is going to take a torpedo, is he? No. He's going to slide past it. Wow.
No name up on the top end. Just goes down too, though. Ooh, bit of a mistiming with the smoke and the radar.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah, this W&D push into the Penta spawn area continuing, but costing them the Des Moines as they do pick up B. So again, that 300-point lead remains, but it's going to start to shrink slowly here. WGC Ryder taking some deep water torpedoes in the middle of the map.
That's right. And his DCP's down for 10 seconds.
This game feels like it's devolving a bit, Zath, almost as if neither team really has a good control of it. Penta has 4 ships pushed well off the caps, all the way up in their spawn area. And W&D is just spread all over the map.
Yeah, you know what this feels like? This feels like the Muay Thai. The Muay Thai? Muay Thai! Remember that
Yeah.
episode?
I remember the episode. There's probably a quote that you're remembering that I'm not.
No, there's a part in the Muay Thai when they get to the end of that fight, and Walker Smith and what's his name, the Shorin. Those two are going back
Yeah.
and forth, and they're so tired. They're just pushing. They're just punching each other, and they're not blocking each
Yeah.
other's punches, and they go down together, and that's what it feels like right now. WND, Penta, both just punching each other in the head, and eventually somebody's going to be declared the winner.
Somebody's going to drop. Ryder dropping there. WD continuing to hold the cap advantage, but down 2 ships here. Looking to bag a kill wherever they can get it. Mix it caught on radar here between 2 destroyers.
I'll tell you, Angel Stone looks like he is the pick target for WND. They are just hammering Angel Stone.
Yeah, he's trying to get to hard cover here. The Brisbane to his south is just mercilessly punishing him. As Viles Harugamo getting shells on Mixa over the island. Look at this cheeky. I love it.
Makes sense. When you're long range, you can arc
Brilliant.
those shells.
Brilliant play.
But Mixa does go dark, at least momentarily.
Well, yep, the radar's offline. So now Angel stopped in this channel. They can spot him. 6 minutes to play. As now Ferry's getting heavy pushed by Kinemod and Marcelo over here on the 1 line.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too.
They know he's low. Well, he's not that low, but they know it's a
radar.
it's a 2v1. He's outnumbered.
He is indeed outnumbered. The smoke is available, so he can, if he needs to, if he's able to, disengage.
He's got to live that long.
That's exactly right.
There it is. He puts it up as the radar expires.
Right.
Not before he takes some more damage. A lot more damage.
All the damage.
Catastrophic damage. And now with a 3-ship lead pushed off the
look at
A
Angel.
cap, I don't
Angel
think
goes down.
Oh, wow. Angel does go down. I was going to say, I don't know how W&D gets back into this game. They have to pull FaZe's Montana back to try and defend A. The Yu Yang is sort of holding these guys back from moving into B, but he's going to get double teamed in a moment.
Well, you can see Dino's being rotated into the middle to help with that. Nope, he's not.
No, they're not. Yeah, they're going to pull him. They're going to pull him back up the 7 line, but ostensibly to kill bots. But bots can see him coming now. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Mix's radar.
Yeah.
Bots is like snuggled in here. Look at this. Look at this position. He's sending his guys ashore on shore leave.
Checking his text messages.
Yeah, he's been told, don't lose your ship. I don't care what the cost is.
Well, Russia's Brisbane's trying to arc over, but in the process gets spotted, and here comes some Ohio shells. Oh, good hits.
Well, Shriver's Daring takes a decent hit there. FaZe burning in the middle of Thunderdome over here was getting just brutally farmed by the Brisbane and Harugamo. He's got plenty of heals left. He's got to live to get to one. FaZe's guns looking the other way, looking back towards bots. They're trying to push bots out.
Yeah, Mixa now in a one-on-one. There it is.
Wow.
Fantastic teamwork there as FaZe is at 12K, healing back up a little.
Down to 150 points now. And closing for W&D. Desperately trying to find their way back into game 3.
And
Rush
Ohio
down to
salvo.
5K, but still alive. More Ohio shells coming in. 1,500 HP as Dino's Moskva head runs for the middle of the board with the conga line torpedoes coming in, Zath. Oh no!
This could be
catastrophic for Dino. No, only takes 1.
Wow, that's good seamanship right there. That's seamanship. And there's the radar.
Puts the radar up. Yeah, let's see if he can bag this kill on Shriver. It would be huge if he could pull it off.
He's going to beach himself to do it, though.
He's going to beach himself broadside of the Brisbane. Feels a little bad. They need this kill, Zath. If they need this kill, they get it.
There's the kill. They get the kill.
Oh my goodness, there's the tie game. There's the lead change.
W&D now in the lead. Wait, torpedoes on FaZe.
Rush gets to his fancy heal. DNO on just all the fires. Trying to heal through it.
FaZe's taking... Oh, there it is. FaZe goes down to Harugamo torpedoes.
FaZe takes Harugamo torpedoes.
Dino... He gets the heal off. His DCP is down.
Dino gets the heal off. He gets the DCP off. Rush is still alive. They're going to lose control of A. I think the loss of the Montana is what's going to cost them the game, Zath. Although they're going to lose Dino here as well.
Yeah, 337.
A couple of shells will put Dino off the board.
There it
is. Man.
Oh,
they
my goodness.
almost did it, Zath. They almost found a way back into this game.
That's right.
But it's not going to happen now. They just don't have the pieces left.
Yeah, we had fire for a moment. Oh, look at this cheeky torpedo salve for a Mixa.
I mean, there's no way Snackman's going to reverse into this, right? 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 He's
going to take 1 or 2.
He's going to take 3?
2.
2. 2's not enough. He's fine.
Wow. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Right there.
Wow.
If that was if that oh god. What a fantastic series.
What a finish. What a finish. Penta's looks like they're going to complete the reverse sweep here as the final seconds tick away after getting just, I'm going to say it again, manhandled in game 1. They took game 2 in dominating fashion, and they hang on to win here in game 3. Wow. What a series.
Absolute amazing series. Now remember, W&D is not out. They just get knocked down to the
Nope.
losers bracket. Penta then moves on. Wow.
Yes, indeed. All right, well, let's throw it back to the studio. We'll have to go figure out what our next game is going to be here. We'll talk to you guys again then.
Sounds great.